created by us. But more, there was a reason. It was on that basis that we felt if our government will have an opposition speaker, it will suppress the success of the referendum. I'll be honest with you, no matter how you feel. It was on that basis that today we made victorious because we know the right agenda of the House is to have a speaker that will work along with the government.
A good day, a great day. Welcome, the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. My name is Julius J. We have a whole lot to talk about that you can trust. Evidence, information. At 5 p.m., the other side of Al Cup will be here. We will hear from them as well and ask them the hard questions. 4 o'clock, we should have a team from the African Methodist Episcopal University. Before that, we'll talk about the things that matter. Right here on the OK Conversation. Share the video, invite others to join in. We're live on YouTube as well. Wherever you are, however you're doing, whatever you're doing, this is it. Ghana has signed a memorandum of understanding to extend production licenses for its key offshore oil fields, Jubilee and 10, until 2040. The deal, announced today, involves Tullow Oil, Cosmos Energy, Petro SA, GNPC, and Exploco, and extends the West Cape 3 points and deep water tunnel licenses by 15 years. The partners will invest up to $2 billion and drill about 20 new wells in the Jubilee field to boost reserves, improve gas supply, and lower consumer costs. Energy Minister John Abdullahi Jinapo called the agreement a major step forward for Ghana's energy future. 5 members of a United Nations convoy carrying aid to the war-torn Sudanese city of El Fasher have been killed in an attack, UN agencies have said. Several people were also injured and multiple trucks burned in Monday night's assault, which took place near El Komar in the state of North Darfur, they added. The two sides in Sudan's grueling civil conflict, the civil war, the paramilitary rapid support forces, and the regular army have accused each other of striking the UN convoy with drones. And 2 people who the Ugandan army described as armed terrorists have been killed in the capital Kampala as the country marks Martyrs' Day, a celebration that's a Christian celebration to commemorate the faithful who died in the 19th century. A counter-terrorism unit intercepted and neutralized the 2, one of whom was a female suicide bomber in the upmarket suburb of Munyonyo. Army spokesperson Chris Magezi said the incident took place near the Roman Catholic Munyonyo Martyrs Shrine, where a group had gathered to pray, local media reported. This is it. Share the video, invite others to join in. A whole lot of important things to talk about. But let's take our break with some of our sponsors. Right now, 2 minute things to run over and run through. So let's go. A quick break and we'll be back. We'll come back later. We play the others, and that's how we do it until we end today's presentation of the OK Conversation.
Hey, they're rushing. Why are you rushing to so?
You, Judy, don't give me a hard time, man. I'm going to the bank to get my cash because the bank was soon close.
You can use the ATM?
My ATM card expired ever since.
My man, you don't need ATM card. Just use the mobile app and generate an e-token. All you have to do is to just log on the app, you click on Express Cash. Then you select ATM. From there now you select Generate e-token. Then you select the account you want the money to come from. From there you select the currency that you want. If they're Liberian dollars or US dollars. Then you put in the amount that you want, whether $10 or $20, you put it in and you generate your e-token. It's simple, like 8 numbers that will come to you. When you get that number, just go to any ATM there. All you have to do is to just select the C Express Cash on the ATM now. The place where you're supposed to put your ATM pin, that way you pull that 8 number. Then it will ask you for the amount. That money where you generated, that money will come or the ATM will pay you.
So simple. Echo Banners for me again. Oh. I will always make use of the Express service big time. Echo Bank, the Pan-African Bank.
You pay attention, all of us that can use the road. If you're driving or using motorbike or even keke, if they're in a city or even on a highway, it's very important to know the rules of driving, the simple rules that can keep all of us safe. You must always wear your seatbelt. But rather, you and the person behind you must always wear your helmet. And rather, don't forget your reflective jacket. Speeding is general good because your life and that of the loved one may be inside too. Don't speed even if you're in a city or on a highway. Don't drink or take in any substance before driving. So if you drink alcohol, don't drive. Or if that you driving, don't drink. Don't overload a car. It can lead to serious accident. Look for the red light and stop sign. Don't be close behind the other car on the road. Always stay far behind the car in front of you. It will give you more time to know what thing to do. If the car in front of you just stop jelly down. Always show the signal sign so the other driver then can know what thing you want to do. No texting, no calling, no setting the radio while driving. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. All the thing here will look simple, but it can change in no time when you're not paying attention. Drive safe, be focused, and respect the rules of the road.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Transport with funding from the National Road Fund of Liberia. Thanks for watching.
You pay attention.
So, let's now take our fact check. After that, we rumble into other issues.
Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On June 3, President Joseph Boakai claimed that 202 peacekeepers died in Liberia during its 14-year civil conflict. The Liberian president made this statement while paying tribute to the peacemakers who died in Liberia in a statement delivered after the country was elected as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. To fact-check this claim, we conducted an online search and found publications by the United Nations on the close of its mission in Liberia. In one of the publications in March 2018, the UN said 200 peacekeepers lost their lives due to illness, accidents, or other causes while serving in Liberia. In another publication on the website of the United Nations Foundation, it reveals that more than 200 UN peacekeepers lost their lives as part of UNMIL's work to support peace in Liberia. Based on these facts, we conclude that President Boakai's claim that 202 UN peacekeepers lost their lives in Liberia is mostly correct. On May 24, Rachel Coon, Speaker of the House of Representatives, claimed that since 2006, the proportion of women in the legislature has steadily declined. Speaker Coon made this claim at the induction ceremony of the new corps of officials of the Women's Legislative Caucus on the grounds of the Capitol. To fact-check this claim, we review official election results from the National Election Commission's results portal on its website. Our review found that in 2005, 5 seats were won by women in the Senate, while 8 seats in the House of Representatives, bringing the proportion of women in the legislature to 13.8%. In 2006, Elizabeth P. Williams won the Riverside by-election, bringing the proportion of women in the legislature to 14.8%. In 2011, the proportion of women in the legislature dropped to 11.65% after the number of women in the legislature dropped from 14 in 2006 to 12 in 2011. After the special senatorial election in 2014, the proportion of women in the legislature dropped further to 10.67% as the number of women reduced from 12 in 2012 to 11 in 2015. In 2017, there were 9 women elected to seats in the lower house, while one of the seats held by a woman in the Senate became vacant following the election of Joy Howard Taylor as vice president. This kept the proportion of women in the legislature at 10.67%. After the 2020 special senatorial election, the proportion of women in the legislature remained at 10.6% following the election of Senator Boto Khan in Bapulu County and Finda Lassana in Bomi County District 1 by-election. After the 2023 election, the proportion of women in the legislature remained at 10.67%. Based on these facts, we conclude that the claim made by Speaker Richard Coom that since 2006 the proportion of women in the legislature has steadily declined is mostly correct. While the proportion of women in the legislature declined from 2006 to 2014, the number has stagnated at 10.6% from 2014 up to current. Well, cherished listeners, this is all we have time for on this edition of the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia and OKFM, Prime FM, and Care Radio to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Friday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. But if you have a claim that you want us to fact check for you, you can kindly send us a text through WhatsApp on 0777 556296 and we will fact check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, on X, formerly Twitter at LVO Fact Check, or better still visit our website at www.localvoicesliberia.com. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Thanks as well. Sir Anthony Gassimier from La Côte d'Ivoire, Abobo. Alex Doe, the truth teller, Julius J with a powerful voice, well seated, listening to your unique show. Great man. Okay. Thanks so kindly. These kinds of things when we talk on the other side. Alfred Kieju, Shida Clubfish, Market Community, Romeo Chieto from Lacra, Siafa, Sharif from Todi, Montserrat County, Francis Toe from Francis Johnson, Junction, Logan Town. I almost said Johnson. Who else can say Johnson? Damo Gonoflomo, Nangbo Henry Nangbo is following. From Dar es Salaam, in a place called Mikocheni B Community, in Tanzania, Dickerson Zach Williams is following. From Water Street, Thomas Blama. Okay, a whole lot of you are following. Now, there's this chilling, sad story coming out of Lofa. All kinds of things have been coming out of Lofa, but this one has to do with a young lady who gave birth and reportedly discarded threw the baby away in a swamp. Wrote an interview, maybe just two minutes of it. Yep. I want those watching to be able to see the video. We who are listening, we will also hear. So, please let him know I need that video up.
Ma, how are you? You got to speak a bit. All
Because we're
right.
having some
What is your name?
challenges.
Seba Koli. From
If
where?
that is the case,
You are in visitor today. What happened? The clinic.
okay, have it.
I born a child to the house.
When you born a child?
Yesterday.
Yesterday you gave birth to by yourself?
Yes.
And then what happened?
It is rolling, but we're not hearing it
Tell all how
here.
happened.
Yesterday I born a child. I go to go wash.
Restart,
Ma, how are you?
restart.
You got to speak a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What is your name?
And it's back home.
Seba Koli.
Yeah.
From where?
Okoba.
You are in visitor today. What happened? The clinic.
I born a child to the house.
When you born a child?
Yesterday.
Yesterday you gave birth to by yourself?
Yes.
And then what happened? Tell all how happened.
Yesterday I born a child. I go to go wash. I go to the bed. My hair is off. My mama is my parents. And then I get to help me. I go to the child where Sally. Swami. And the accent.
Your mother living, your father living.
Yes.
So yesterday, you didn't feel pain or your stomach trying to help you, try to involve other people to get you help, and you allow yourself to get birth by yourself in a house? Eh?
Yes.
So why were they push you to doing what you did yesterday? You have your, is it a no owner for the, is that what you're saying?
Another.
Uno there, then what happened? Not depend on him to take care of the child and you?
Your heart is sports.
Yeah, bring up baby, bring up baby. So this is the baby, right? Yeah, so yeah, find baby that day you discard it. So why you wanted it? Why you wanted to happen to the child here? Is it that any child life or anything? Because you're talking about your mom and father now. Right? So how have you been living before? They are not alive. How have you been living before?
I need somebody help me.
Who is that person helping you?
So why my people?
Okay,
People.
that's okay. That's
Why you
okay.
cannot depend on the people? You allow yourself go pregnant, went you 9 months, and get birth. You decided to discard the child. Eh?
Okay, good. So you heard it for yourself. You see, her mom and pa are not alive, and then it's looking to her. So she gave birth and by herself. She gave birth by herself, and she tried throwing the child away. The child is still alive, though. They were able to find the child and also get her. So things are happening. Things are happening, and of course, it's important for us to highlight these kinds of stressful things. Sometimes it's easy if it is not in your shoes to beat on such people. Oh, why did you do it? But there's something called post-traumatic stress disorder. When people go through those kinds of situations of giving birth, stressful. You look at the future. It looks bleak. You don't even have anything on you. Maybe the father is not even showing up. So all those kinds of things happen. The issues. This is why someone will say poverty is wicked. Poverty is wicked. It's the wickedness of poverty that drives people to do a whole lot of things. This is why we must always try. We must always eke out to ensure that we are doing some very good things for the country. So, a whole lot of things are happening. So, the Justice Minister, Councillor Oswald Twe, Solicitor General Augustine Fayard, Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman, Fire Service Director Wasawa Bavo, they've all appeared before the Liberian Senate. That was on yesterday. They have declined to provide a timeline for releasing the full investigative report on the Capitol fire. and they are citing ongoing nature of the probe and the related court proceedings. So because of that, they're saying they cannot release the full report, but we'll watch and see what comes out of that. Something that we'll discuss next week. The Ministry of Labor has disclosed that a total of 10,117 work permits. Oh, that too we're doing 8,000. It has gone up in their final report. Their final submission made to the Liberian Senate on Tuesday, 10,117 work permits were given out. We'll look at that next week. Also, we know that as the rains are coming, we are expected to experience heavy. I don't want to use the word unprecedented because I don't know what records of the past will be in terms of rainfall in the country. But the National Disaster Management Agency is saying between 800 what is the measurement? It's a millimeter of rain to 1,000 millimeter of rain, blah blah blah. But it's a certain measurement that they use for rainfall will happen, and perhaps over 60,000 residents in lowland coastal areas and flood-prone communities, places that are usually flooded during the rains, may suffer from flash floods. So it is important to start bracing yourself for what could happen. So the role of the media is to educate, is to find the evidence, is to report the truth, and nothing but the truth. So we always have to try to do that. It is the responsibility that we have. So Liberia yesterday won a non-permanent member seat of the UN Security Council. That was alongside DR Congo. DR Congo, is a country at war. They're fighting war there, but they were still able to get a non-permanent member seat, along with Bahrain, Colombia, and Latvia, and they are going to serve 2 years. Now, but we're focusing on Liberia. So, President Boakai delivered this speech. Today we stand at the threshold of a new chapter in our nation's history. The United Nations Security Council has honored us with a non-permanent seat for 2026-2027, recognizing our resilience, commitment to peace, and dedication to global cooperation. We extend our deepest gratitude to all UN member states for their confidence. This is a moment of honor and humility for our 178-year-old republic, Africa's first independent nation, whose long and storied journey continues to inspire. Our election is not just a national achievement. It symbolizes African perseverance and is a tribute to generations of Liberians who have held firm to freedom, self-governance, and global solidarity. From our role in the League of Nations and as a founding member of the United Nations to our contributions to African independence, Liberia has always punched above its weight on the global stage. We honor the memory of Ambassador Angie Brooks Randolph, Africa's first female president of the UN General Assembly, whose call for substance over symbolism still echoes. And we record the foresight of President William R. Tubert, who warned that global peace was impossible without African freedom and justice. Liberia has walked a difficult road from conflict to recovery, but it has never been alone. We remain grateful to the United Nations, ECOWAS, and the African Union for their role in our peace process. We especially pay tribute to the 202 United Nations peacekeepers who died in the cause of Liberia. From the ruins of war, Liberia has risen as a democracy, holding successive peaceful elections and achieving historic power transfers. Today's election affirms Liberia is again a credible and relevant voice on the world stage. Unlike our first partial term in 1961, today's election is a testament to our nation's journey towards peace and reconciliation. We have overcome conflict and are poised to contribute meaningfully to global building, peace building, and conflict resolution. It validates Liberia's commitment to international peace and our readiness to contribute meaningfully at the highest level. We take on this responsibility during global uncertainty, marked by persistent conflicts, climate-related insecurity, terrorism, and development disparities. Liberia will be a principled and dependable voice on the Council. We will advocate for Africa, the developing world, and inclusive, lasting peace. Drawing from our own experience of reconciliation and nation building, we will promote conflict prevention, support peacekeeping reform, and champion the protection of civilians, especially women and children. Liberia will also continue its growing role as a troop contributing country to UN missions. To our African brothers and sisters, we pledge to be your voice. To the Global South, we offer solidarity. And to all UN members, we promise constructive engagement and bridge building diplomacy rooted in Liberia's humility, honesty, and freedom values. We stand on the shoulders of giants, including President Joseph Jenkins Roberts, Edwin Buckley, William V.S. Tubman, William R. Talbot, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who flew the flag of Liberia high on the international stage. Other icons of this democracy we enjoy today, as well as countless unsung heroes who kept our nation's spirit alive through adversity. This moment, so remember this particular paragraph. We stand on the shoulders of giants, including Presidents Joseph Jenkins Roberts, Edwin Buckley, William V.S. Tubman, William R. Talbot, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who flew the flag of Liberia high. Blah, blah, blah. Good. This movement is the fruit of their labor and prayers. So this movement is what is the fruit of their labor and prayers. Good. To all Liberians at home and abroad, this victory is yours. Let us rally together to make this 10-year success. When Liberia sits at the council, it will be your hopes, resilience, and dreams that she will carry. I thank our Foreign Minister, Her Excellency Madam Sarah Bislow Nyanti, Liberia's permanent mission to the UN campaign teams in New York, Monrovia, and Addis Ababa, and all those across government who made this achievement possible. You have worked hard to open a new chapter in our nation's global engagement. As promised in our campaign, Liberia's voice at the council will reflect our people. We will consult with women and youth nationwide to ensure our representation is inclusive and grounded. This new chapter in our global engagement presents opportunities for growth, collaboration, and progress. I call upon all Liberians to embrace this moment and work together to build a brighter future for our nation and the world. May God bless the Republic of Liberia, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations. Thank you. Then also came later on during the night hours, former President George Weah, who also wrote this. Let's go there. I'm taking you somewhere quickly. So he says, today marks a proud moment for our beloved country. Liberia has secured a seat at the global table as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. I extend heartfelt appreciation to the government of Liberia, led by President Joseph Boakai, for ensuring that this monumental national aspiration came to a successful conclusion. My sincere thanks also go to ECOWAS, the African Union, and all local and international stakeholders who supported Liberia from the onset and followed through today with a resounding vote. When we began this journey, the goal was clear: to claim Liberia's rightful place on the world stage and advance global peace and security. Now, with this opportunity, we reaffirm our commitment to championing these ideals while advocating tirelessly for Liberia. I call on all Liberians to use this landmark achievement to work in the collective interest of our common patrimony. God bless Liberia. Keep that in mind as well. Then came the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia. They released this statement that says, the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia congratulates Liberia on its election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2026-2027 term. This milestone underscores Liberia's commitment to global peace and its leadership in the region. We look forward to our continued partnership in addressing international challenges. So, yeah, we have secured this. As a country, is a very good thing, and kudos to all involved. However, it is important when these kinds of things happen for us to sometimes what happens afterward is very important, and for looking at the future so we position ourselves better. The debate has been raging and some very terrible things are being said about different people from different sectors. There are those who support the government who think the previous administration did nothing. They should not want any part of victory and blah, blah, blah. There are those from the opposition who think that they were overlooked and, and all those kinds of things. Whatever the case is, for me, it is not about praise, but I think it is about acknowledgement, and it is not about revisionism. When you want to rewrite history in such a way that you downplay or you grandstand or you overlook what others did, then it is not okay. It's important to look at the records. And so I'm not going to bring out anything that former President Weah said in terms of the past about UN Security Council. I'm not going to bring out news reports that may have come from that era. I'm not going to bring out the current foreign minister's letter to former President Weah when she was inviting him to join them and all of that. And that happened just after a scathing critique from Daniel Sando and all of that. So I'm not bringing all of that. I am going into two key documents, two very important documents. And these documents are online. The first document I'm going to is, please put this up, the ECOWAS first page, 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Governments of ECOWAS. Put that up. Let everybody see it. It is online. You can see it for yourself. You can go find it. The title of the document. You see all of the ECOWAS stuff there. Let's deal with this once and for all. And that is the role of the media that we cannot shy away from. Do we have that up now? When the propagandists and everybody else talk. Okay, so it is up. It is titled Sister Third. So you see the ECOWAS logo and all of those things there. And this is the original English. And this was the 9th of July 2023, Bissau, Republic of Guinea-Bissau. So this was held in Guinea-Bissau, July 9, 2023. Final communique. The 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States was held on 9th July 2023 in Bissau, Republic of Guinea-Bissau, under the chairmanship of His Excellency General Umaro Sissoco Mbalo, President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau and Chairperson of the Authority. 2. The following heads of state or their duly mandated representatives participated in the summit. His Excellency Patrice Talon, President of Republic of Benin, Jose Maria Neves, Cape Verde, Adama Barrow, Gambia, Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ghana, Umaro Sissoco Mbalo, Guinea-Bissau, George Manawea, Liberia, Mohamed Bazoum, Niger, blah, 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 blah. You can see all of the leaders that were there. I wanted you to see the cover page. Put the next one up. From that page, the next one. So it is what they call the final communique. You see the signature, person who signed it, the blue handwriting. So it's the original. So this was when? July 2023. You put the next one up. So in the communique, count number 46 under D, international cooperation on the international statutory protocols. Is that okay? Yeah, that is it. That's what I want. It is up there. If you're watching, you can see it. It says 46. The authority took note of the candidature of republics of Guinea-Bissau and Liberia for the position of non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council for the period 2026 to 2027, for which election is scheduled to hold in June 2025. The heads of state and government endorsed the candidacy of the Republic of Liberia for 2026-2027 and Republic of Guinea-Bissau 2028-2029. The authority expresses its heartfelt appreciation to all development partners for their constant supporting the community in achieving its regional integration and peace and security consolidation goals. So, Liberia had lobbied with fellow ECOWAS members way back, and in 2023, this endorsement was part of the final communique in July in Guinea-Bissau. To get these things, you lobby, you talk to people, you give something, and something comes your way. I'm told Liberia was supposed to get some other job, and we said we wanted the UN Security Council thing. So all of that was already in place as far back as 2023. That is what the evidence of this ECOWAS document shows. We move on to the next one. Put up the heading of this one from the African Union. It is also online. This one is titled Executive Council 43rd Ordinary Session, 13th to 14th July 2023, Nairobi, Kenya. So, what is the date of this one? 9th July in Guinea-Bissau. A week later, the Executive Council, the 43rd Ordinary Session of the African Union now, the whole continent, happened in Nairobi, Kenya. Decisions. So the document is titled Decisions, the decisions that they reached. That is the heading for that one. Put the next one up. Which decisions did they reach? Put the next one up. Remember July 2023. The heading for 6 up there, way up. Put that one up. It says endorses new candidatures of government submitted by member states. So there are different things, different countries at that time needed the support of the African Union for, and the endorsement that they did. Okay, so that is up. So you look at 6 way up, where the blue tick mark, one way up. I want you to see the heading before we come down to the next one that is marked green. You look way up there, you see endorses new candidatures of governments submitted by member states. And you see the colon there. Come down to H. So the African Union endorses new candidature of government submitted by member states. What does H under 6 say? For election for the post of a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the period 2026-2027 during the election scheduled for June 2025 in New York, USA, the candidature of Republic of Liberia. So the African Union also then endorsed Liberia's candidature for the UN Security Council seat in 2023. NB, the Republic of Liberia was endorsed by ECOWAS as the only candidate for Western Africa region for this post. Now, based on the evidence of these 2 documents, it can tell you that the previous administration lobbied, they did all that they needed to do. They went after this, and they got the endorsements of ECOWAS and then the African Union. So it's like building a house, buy the land, that's the expression of interest. Then you build a foundation, that is getting your regional bloc support, the entire ECOWAS, and then you carry the house up to roof level, that's African Union. Then the current administration came in and said, okay, this looks like a good house. The foundation is solid. The elevation is okay. So we will put the roof, we will put the zinc, we will end it, we will put the ceiling, we will plaster, we will paint, we will furnish, we will tile, we will put the doors, we will put the window. Then yesterday now was to give the key of the house. Your house is finished. That is the reality. There can be no propaganda around these kinds of things. That is the reality. That's exactly how it happened. So the current government also lobbied internationally, because you put all the African countries together, that's around what, 40 something or 50 countries? Something around that, 51 or so. So whether the previous one was at the UN talking to other people, this administration came in, did that as well, increased the numbers, talked to different people, lobbied, and all of that. So when you say government is continuity, that is that. However, you do not discard the efforts of other people, because, mind you, if that government did not express the interest, did not lobby to get this, other countries would have. Perhaps other countries did, but Liberia spoke to them and they left it, and Liberia was endorsed. So for example, if the WIA administration did not see it necessary for UN Security Council seat, if they did not express their intention and to lobby, we will not be talking about Liberia having a Security Council seat today. No, because ECOWAS will have endorsed somebody else that will have expressed interest and lobbied, and the African Union will have done same. So today we will be discussing something entirely far away from UN Security Council. It could be Ivory Coast, it could be Guinea, it could be Nigeria, it could be any of these countries here. But that they expressed the interest and they lobbied with their colleagues, and everybody else left it. And Liberia was endorsed, the same with African Union, and the new administration came in and played their part. That's how we are here. So what is the fuss about? Administrations do good and bad. So if someone did good, I don't think it makes a current government less of a government if that is acknowledged. I don't see what is wrong with acknowledging that. I'm not saying praise or seeking glory, but to acknowledge. And we are making falls out of it. We have to stop these things. That's how sometimes we just spin in a cycle, because clearly if this administration initiates certain good things and perhaps it is not routine and someone else comes to power, you will want them to acknowledge. It is about the whole country. Yeah, it's about the whole country. But when people do wrong, we single them out. If an administration does wrong, it goes on the president's head. We don't call other people names. All the bad things that happen in the administration that we can call. Ellington, that Ellen we can call. So when good things happen, people should call their names too. It was a good thing. It should be acknowledged. So the way they wrote the president's speech, I don't know. If I'm in that kind of room, I would insist this doesn't make the president less of a president. Mention this administration. If they did not do this, we will not be here. Because that time will have passed. Imagine the people already endorsed Liberia for 2026, 2027, and they endorsed Guinea-Bissau for 2027, 2028. So the next time they will have that discussion for 2028, 2029, before we will start talking about it, it will not be this time. So acknowledge. So for them to have written the president's speech in such a way that it talks about Joseph Jenkins robbers and blah, 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 standing on their shoulders, and does not even mention those who initiated this, that's problematic. That's not the reconciliation that the speech itself spoke about. That's the reality. It is not that. You see, it was a great speech. And it comes here, it says, we stand on the shoulders of giants, including presidents Joseph Jenkins Roberts, Edwin Barclay, William V.S. Tubman, William R. Tubman, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who flew the flag of Liberia high on the international stage, other icons of this democracy we enjoy today, as well as countless unsung heroes who kept their nation's spirit alive through adversity. This movement is the fruit of their labor and prayers. None of these people labor as strong as the previous administration did for this UN Security Council thing that were mentioned. That is the reality. So what did they bow? They were corrupt. We can beat them for all those wounds. But the good, should be said. Even devil and God, sometimes they can lecture. In the spirit of reconciliation, they should have been mentioned. That is the reality. It will not make Joseph Boakai not to be president or make George Weah president back if what they did that was good was mentioned. It was a good thing, too, that Mr. Weah later on wrote a speech, even after the president had delivered, and to squarely praise the current administration. For me, I think that's one of the best things that he's written recently. He can be sometimes petty, but on this one, I think he did very well. In his third paragraph, he says, I extend heartfelt appreciation to the government of Liberia, led by President Joseph Boakai, for ensuring that this monumental national aspiration came to a successful conclusion. That was great. That was okay. Put away all of the innuendos of politics and to acknowledge that, yeah, these people met this building elevated, but they did everything else to complete it. Good. That's how you foster reconciliation in the midst of politics. And you do not give room for all these other small talk here and there and blah, blah, blah. I do not think after this thing people are supposed to be throwing shades and jibes here and there. It takes away. It takes away. We have to learn to enjoy good moments for the country together. We will still have time for all that politicking and blah, 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 and this and that. But these kinds of moments, that's what they should be. So that's why the records show. We just needed to go back to that so that people are aware of how it started and how it ended. Good. Finally, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this.
Any and all acts passed by the constitutional quorum of the House of Representatives in section, which the Supreme Court held in its opinion of April 23, 2025, in a bill of information decision, was not presided over by the legally recognized presiding officer, are herewith ratified and endorsed by the House of Representatives. Any and all.
In case you are wondering, this is Major Sion, the Chief Clerk of the House of Representatives. Listen again. Listen, my people. Listen very well.
All acts passed by the constitutional quorum of the House of Representatives in section, which the Supreme Court held in its opinion of April 23, 2025, in a bill of information decision, was not presided over by the legally recognized presiding officer, are herewith ratified and endorsed by the House of Representatives, duly assembled and presided over by the newly elected Speaker as presiding officer, and constituting the constitutional quorum for such ratification, and that the said acts and actions are hereby ratified and are given the full weight and force that any and all of the further actions taken by the constitutional quorum in furtherance of the continued functioning and operations of the government, inclusive of actions which were primarily intended and which have formed part of the compromise in resolving the disputes amongst members of the House of Representatives, recognized and accepted by the new leadership of the House of Representatives, and which may also have involved interactions with the other political branches, that is the Senate and Executive, or which actions were accepted or adopted by the other political branches or sectors of the government as were necessary to take the government running, functional, and operational, are hereby ratified. 4. That this resolution, because of the impact which it has for the activities carried out by the other political branches, Senate and Executive, of the government, shall be duly submitted to the House of Senate for its concurrence and thereafter submitted to the President.
Okay. Every day, I thank God for giving some of us the fortitude and the foresight, the ability to be able to stand up for truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how we are branded, no matter how we are seen by our people, to stand up for truth. It's a very beautiful thing because it comes back. Did you really listen to her? So the house now, all those things that they did, the budget, the pass, and everything, they brought them by and said, okay, we recognize that they were illegal. The things we did, they were illegal things. So we won't make it legal now. So we were passing a resolution to legalize those things. Now we have a duly elected speaker. Where is the bar association? Where are those former lawmakers? Where are those people, political people and whosoever, who were saying, they were saying, the action they put were okay, they were legal actions and blah, blah, blah. We should not encourage leaders in doing wrong, no matter how we love them, no matter how we're friendly with them, no matter how it makes our party look stronger or our side look stronger. We should never, as a country, endorse the kind of actions that happened here. From a confession of the current speaker to now them acknowledging that, it was not legal, so we bringing it back so we can pass resolution to make it legal. And people were endorsing those actions, encouraging them that it was okay, they were doing the right thing. How do we build and grow this country? You're making it to appear like, so what about the budget that they passed? What would the Supreme Court say? What about the budget that they passed and blah, blah, blah? Is it illegal too and blah, blah, blah? How will they make it legal? They acknowledge that the budget they passed was illegal. So they're making it illegal now by a resolution to say, okay, that thing we did, we were not duly recognized, we're not constitutional. Now we get constitutional speaker. So all those actions that we took, that the Supreme Court said were unconstitutional, we agree they were unconstitutional. So we're making them constitutional now. Amen. But I'm happy. Not because of me, but because at every point in time in the history of our country, in the ongoing of this country, no matter how we know and love people, when it comes to the issues of rule of law, that have ripple over effects and implications for the future, we must always stand by the truth. And that bodies, integrity institutions, people who should know better, should always be able to say the hard truth, no matter whom the truth makes uncomfortable. But far too often, we are not able. See this kind of thing here? It comes right back to what we were saying. What will you say now? All of you who were arguing that they were legal, they think they're doing it, they were okay. What will you say? Is that not a slap in your face? All of us should have joined then. Those who have been shortened. But you emboldened them, you encouraged them. You were having meetings with them here and there to embody their actions. Very terrible actions indeed for the country. What will you say? What can you say to this now? 777-700-995, 555-9959. I have very two damaging reports on two entities of government. One is NASCAP. Tomorrow we should be looking at those. Some very terrible things have been happening. The other one is another kind of report. But I want to take my tomorrow. I wanted to deal with that report today, but again, we needed to clear all of these things out so that tomorrow we are coming. We will unearth all of these things and we'll make sure we bring them to your conscience as a nation. We have to help the president, help the government do what is right to take us to the levels we want to get to as a people. I hope my guests are here. Are they? Let's see. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
DL Question.
Mm-hmm.
Julius, just forget about that thing at Capitol here. Because we spoke about it, they didn't listen. I vividly remember former lawmakers, like my own former boss, Moses Corley, like George Morba, Dake, and the rest of them that played that political horse. But interestingly, those were the same people that were on the other side with Ellis Starter, and they said that the people action was not political at the time, it should have been legal. That's the situation with the House of Representatives. Now, on the issue of our president, Julius, in terms of reconciliation, we are going absolutely nowhere. How can you stand on the shoulder of J.J. Roberts, Edwin Barclay, Totman, Torbo, Madam Salif, and skip the very person who initiated the process you enjoy today? It is disappointing and below the belt. There is absolutely no way that this history will be talked about without referencing President Weah. Let them spin it all the way they want. President Weah lobbied with ECOWAS. He won the hearts of ECOWAS. He won the hearts of the African Union. And you say, well, is that our beginning point?
Thanks.
I'm beginning to side with people who said, look, the president called to President Weah, the current president called to President Weah on Unification Day was fake. I begin to side with them because the pettiness in this government is just getting too much.
Okay, thanks. So kindly, let's take more calls. Let's see who's on this side. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Let me say good afternoon to His Excellency President Parker. Somebody came from Brazil, the C-17. So let me comment you for the national discussion. The recording you played from the cabinet building for me, I stand by the decision that was made earlier by the majority bloc because, not just about to go back and correct things or to maybe resettle things. If you listen to the conversation, they say part of the compromise, the agreement that was made after Kofa resigned or Roger Kunto resigned and recontest. So it's not just about another dating illegal. It's so the Supreme Court wouldn't have sent him to go represent the budget. That has been our argument. This is the legal department in our country, right?
Am I the one you heard reading?
You are not the one who read.
Am I the one who wrote the statement that Major wrote?
I'm saying to you, beyond our conversation, I'm looking at, I'm going to say, part of the compromise, because there was compromise between Rocheku and Frande Kofa. There was land I say, you will cross the line and you will not cross the line. So it tell you, majority bloc who had a chance. Yeah, hello?
Didn't the statement talk about unconstitutional and constitutional?
A part of the same compromise, the negotiation that was done, whether it was done constitutional or unconstitutional, that is argument I'm putting here. If so, the Supreme Court wouldn't have sent it to also represent the budget on a Rocheku. They were not done on a Fernando Kofa, and the budget was, it started on a Kofa, and the impact started, and the Rocheku are going to have no excuse. But when they saw Rocheku proceeding as speaker, they sent in to go represent the budget, they get that salary, that over for everything. They should not give an excuse. So let me know, right?
Thanks so kindly. Let's take another person. You had over 2 minutes. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius, how are you?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Thank you. And my name is Musa Kone. I call you from Lower Magibi County. I want to borrow from Senator DeLong. I will call you Senator Kone. He said, and I quote, Sussex have lot of owners. And that's true. If you look at everything that we know, including you, Judas, know, it's just that I'm going to disagree with you. It's not possible for anybody to claim this victory as your victory to the extent you write a statement deliberately refuse to acknowledge President Weah's effort in Liberia getting this seat. That is so petty. But this is the trend of the country, Julius. The country is heading in a very bad direction. Look, when our e-government, maybe when you say it, because you are not in government, I will feel bad. So if I'm saying it today, all the people in government would think, I know I'm not saying the right thing, but the country is head. Liberia have never ever been divided like the way Liberia is now. It's bad. The president did not do good. I want to say, President Weah takes the glory, gigantic portion of the success should be given to President Weah, and there where my disagreement comes with you.
No, but I was not apportioning glory. I said for me it's more about acknowledgement and being very clear with what the fact is, and that is the fact. This is why I brought the evidence that substantiates.
I agree.
Okay.
And where I say I disagree with you, and you will not speak the way I would speak, is the analogy you made about building a foundation, reaching the horse to the roof level, and no. This horse, the foundation, in fact, the land was bought by President Weah. The foundation was laid. The cement, or who said they can call it the wall was carried out. They roof it.
No, for me, I don't think roof was there, but thanks so kind.
No, roof. No, let me end it now.
Yeah, quickly.
So they roof it. They plastered inside. The only thing that was left to be done was the key. And you just go inside and
that one not true, Musa.
Okay, let me conclude now.
Yeah, but if you concluding, how you say one conclude?
No, so my conclusion is, if you are putting percentage to glory, President Weah should be taking 95% of the success that we are talking about today.
Okay, thanks so kindly. I don't think so. Yeah, but okay, that's it. That's how the show runs. Let's see who's right here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. Frank Gibson, and I call from Paris.
Go ahead, Frank.
Julius, I'm just watching the live feed. People are calling you citizen journalist. But Julius, I take exception of.
My man, you think I got time for those things?
Yeah, I take exception of the manner in which you just refer to President Weah as sometimes a bit petty. I think the new person who is sometimes taking these things is President Buakai. President Buakai is 80 plus years old, 43 years in governance, in leadership. So, let's assume somebody wrote this piece of things for President Buakai, and he decided to read it out. Reading it out, he could make some correction. These things happen. But sometimes when speech writer writes speech, the reader can sometimes make some changes. But we are told that Katama is the one who's now writing to the speeches for President Buakai.
Who? How you know? Who told you, my man? How can I do that? But thanks so kindly. Thanks.
I don't know how to the application.
Thank you. Let's leave it there. I guess let me take. There's 3 more. We'll go over to them. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Julius. Good afternoon, Julius. This is Marquez Masako, and I call from my rescue center.
Go ahead.
I got a couple of issues. First of all, let me congratulate Liberia for the victory yesterday. Even though I'm not excited about it because I'm not moved by little things. But this is my take. What you are going to take away from President Braga if he had acknowledged his predecessor, if he had acknowledged George Weah, was it going to take anything away from him? And then 2, back to the statement from the House of Representatives. So it's a clear indication that people go to school in Liberia, they just go to school for the degree and not for common sense. And I say this to refer to what the Bar Association president said. They were just there making statements all over the place because it favored them. And then another, yes.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Yeah.
I really admire you for the way you analyze stuff, man. You analyze stuff, and then 2 years later, just what you said, it comes right back.
That's exactly what can happen.
You're a very good lawyer. You make a very, very good lawyer.
Thanks so kindly. And that's why I'm never afraid. If you say, they think the man thought that ain't true. But show evidence, show another evidence. That is the evidence. Nobody in government anywhere else on this earth can tell you that they initiated any lobbying with ECOWAS. No. Those things were already in place. They were already set. They were already done. The only other lobby would be with countries in Europe and other parts of the world. Welcome, and let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julius. I appreciate, this is William Bro calling from France.
Go ahead, William.
I appreciate your level of analysis. You've been very fair. But let me tell you something, Julia. Our country, we are in problem, and people overlooking it deeply. This thing is getting deeper every day. I appreciate President Weah for the release that he put out. It softened the ground a bit. The current president has the responsibility to unite the country. But Julia, let me tell you, in life, if you are ungrateful to people who save your life, it means you are totally ungrateful in every aspect of your life. Anyone who saves your life, you will never be ungrateful to them. But if you are ungrateful to that person, it means that nothing said that person can do that you will be grateful for.
And what does that mean?
Higher peak of ingratitude.
What does that mean? Yeah.
That one people out there will know what I'm talking about. It will be interpreted maybe on my Facebook page. But
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Don't you don't maybe that bad thing. So don't talk here. Go write it on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not talking it.
Let's take the final one. That will be Deputy Minister Daniel Sando. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Mr. Julius J.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I've been following your talk show this evening, and I think your analysis has really taken away from the proud that was bestowed on our country yesterday. At some point, I have always said that the journalists in this country have a role to play. Every day we talk about reconciliation, we talk about moving the country forward. It does not just rest with the government alone, but people who control the public narratives have a role to play.
Was the president's speech after the virtual reconciliatory, and you think it is a wrong thing for us to point that out? When the speech deliberately ignored the person whose shoulder the government actually stood on to win the UN Security Council's non-permanent seat, when the speech deliberately ignored that, was it reconciliatory? And you think we should not point that out?
So my time on the phone is limited. Will you just allow me to make my points?
I have to ask you questions. That's my role.
I thought the president's speech was to a greater extent reconciliatory yesterday. In fact, he called on the nation to take this moment to heal and to unite. The president said that in his speech yesterday. That for me was a rallying call for every Liberian, regardless of which political party you come from. In fact, even some of us who drove the narrative for this UN Security Council bid for the last couple of years, we try to depoliticize it.
Have you been reading from some officials like you, who are part of the government, who have been writing stuff since yesterday that the previous government did not do anything, they did not deserve credit, and all those kinds of things?
You have to give it up to the government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They wrote prominent Liberians, former presidents were written. Do you know why the whole government is solely former President Sadi for the role she played? Do you know why we hail this in the Besson Garfine? Former Foreign Minister Olubangi King Akiwili, do you know why? Because they were visible in showing that this vote was cutting for Liberia.
So the people who gave you the first 50 or first 50 plus votes before they left power, there was no need to hail them.
What the president has said on behalf of the government of Liberia is to say this victory is for Liberia.
Okay.
Nobody is personally claiming that they brought Liberia here. So to go on the radio and say, oh, the government should have recognized what president we was ready to join this caravan to ensure that we can get the country elected for the government presidency. What did he do?
What did you say before that?
No, what did he do?
No, what did you say before that? Don't you think your scathing critique that a whole lot of people found to be disrespectful was a factor in that?
So you see, this is politics. We have a government that we're running. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, wrote the former president a letter asking him to join the team to campaign for Liberia. Tell the public what the former president did. Tell the public.
No, tell us. I don't know.
No, you tell the public because you are the one bringing up documents and say, oh, this person went so they got it first vote and this and that. Yes.
Oh, so is the document true or false?
We can't deny that this bid for the non-permanent seat was a derivative from the past administration.
Okay, then leave us by my man. Leave me. What man? That's when I wanted you to go, and you went there and just broke your own neck. You have wrote a full speech. Yeah? The people who started it, you never knew about it. You were in opposition. They started and got this. done, settled. You came in and want it for the country. You are acknowledging people who played role, and you did not acknowledge, and you think it is an okay thing that we should sugarcoat. No, let's take our break. Thankfully, you have acknowledged that in the end. Let's take a very quick break. Our guests are in to discuss other matters. That's how we do it here on the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Let's go.
The Banking Institute of Liberia and the Central Bank of Liberia presents Phase 2 of its Professional and Business Development Training Program for 2025. For more professional training programs, the Institute offers the following courses: Banking and Finance, Audit and Internal Controls, Procurement and Supply Chain Management, Digital Banking and Financial Management, Monitoring and Evaluation, Compliance and Corporate Risk Management, Human Resource Management, Customer Relationship Management, Public Accounting and Finance, Project Planning and Marketing, Work Planning and Report Writing, Office Administration and Management. These professional training programs target degree holders and graduating seniors from accredited universities and runs for 7 months. Certificates for 3 months and diploma for 4 months. The fee for professional training program at certificate level is US $275. Courses we offered for business development training programs are business accounting and microfinance management, entrepreneurship and small business management, and office administration and business communication. The business development program training targets high school graduates, college students, or graduates and SME operators for just $205 only. All fees are payable in 3 installments: 50% upon registration, 30% before the midterm project, and 20% before the final project. Registration begins May 19 to June 27, 2025, and orientation is scheduled for July 4th. For more information, please visit the office of the Banking Institute of Liberia at Warren and Kerry Streets intersection, beginning Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. or email us biltrainingdepartment@gmail.com. You can also call or WhatsApp on +231 777 194025. Pay less and learn from the best financial management training institute in Liberia.
Hey, my girl, Teta, I slam my card also.
The player I have first. I go carry my uncle card to song on a garage. The GoPro we are where or inside it. The whole car engine spot.
I the same thing happening to me. I go buy one recycle or I put it in my keke. Since then my keke just smoking Jera Mandingo Koba.
So my people, you're not here for Sunoco American oil. They have oil for everything. Whether that pen, Tesla, dump truck, Caterpillar, motorbike, Jeep, keke. Their products include Sunoco Auto Transmission Fluid. They have Global and they also have CVT. Sunoco Engine Oil Ultra Synthetic Blend 5W30 and 20. Sunoco 15W40 and C50 monograde for both gasoline and diesel. Sunoco 0W20 full synthetic engine oil. And our engine oil can even clean your engine set. Their oil can take you for 3 months, 4 months, and 12 months. They have long-lasting auto-light spark plugs. That one can take you up to 3 years, no wahala. They have now opened a sophisticated garage with well-trained mechanics for diagnostic testing and for electronic fault correction. They do all types of vehicle servicing. You want to change your oil, spare your car, weather your car, you want to fix the air condition.
So where is this place located?
River Street, AB Tubber Road. For order, contact Marketers Inc. 0880-535-508 or 0777-677-633. Make your engine happy. Use Sunoco oil. You got to make the change.
Okay, welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us Dr. Agori Stevens, Mr. Joseph Kine, Mrs. Limu K. Momo, Mr. Samuel Tawe Tamba. They all come from the African Methodist Episcopal University. That's AMEU. I am told that what, 30th? Wow, 30 years now. Wow. Time really flies when you're having fun. So AMEU's 30th anniversary is what we're about to talk about. Let's begin with the doctor in studio. Welcome, sir. Madam, rather, sorry. Hold on. Let me put your mic on. Okay. You can just wear the headphone and focus on the... Good. Just focus on the mic. Welcome.
Thank you.
How is everything going? I'm seeing you in the green. Wow, 30th anniversary, sure. That's
yes,
good.
sir.
Okay, I think you will kick us off with it.